Watem here, welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Let's continue.
それの復唱を再要求します。
バカ。魔女側には魔法で行ったことについて説明する義務はないわ。
No, it's completely obvious. There's no way she can say that Canon disappeared with magic using the red truth. After all, magic doesn't exist. But is this enough? I've gone through every last minor detail, and yet there's an uncanny lack of dubious points. I can't think of any way around the theory I've had since the beginning. Canon must be in the closet. He has to be. There's no way he isn't. I'll say it again. This closed room can only be escaped from by switching places with the rescuer. If Canon tried to escape as well, another rescuer would be needed. However, no rescuer exists for Canon. Battler, quote-unquote, escaped, so it's impossible for it to be him. And I won't undo the chain for all eternity. The people who have gone in and out of the room have been confirmed both by name and number of people. At this rate, my theory is set in stone. First, here are the details of a situation that are certain. The game ended while I was inside the guest room, so I did not undo the chain lock that I had previously set. So, it can't be that he escaped after I left the room. Furthermore, the chain lock was set at the same time I entered the room. No one could have left the room during the few seconds between the time I entered and the time I set the chain lock. Aww, well there goes one of my theories. Just haven't read. The guest room was sealed at the time Battler's corpse was examined, so until I came again and broke the seals, it was absolutely impossible for anyone to go in or out. Therefore, when I entered the room, it is certain that Battler was hiding somewhere inside the guest room. The only chance Battler had to escape was after I broke the seals. To be even more specific, he had no chance to escape except for the time I was in the bathroom. But the above premises, Battler's trick to escape with the chain still set is as follows. Because of the aforementioned reasons, the only one who could have set the chain lock, which can only be set from the inside and allow Battler to escape, is Canon, the only person to enter the room except for me and Battler. After Canon entered the room, he set the chain, hidden to one place that he could hide inside the guest room, the closet. Ah? Whoa, that was close. They almost got me. They almost tricked me. I thought I'd cornered him in the closet. It's the opposite. They're trying to make me think he's in the closet. But what was the order in which I searched the guest room? First the bedroom. We confirmed with the red that there was nothing there. Then the bathroom. We confirmed with the red that there was nothing there. That's it right there. When I examined the bedroom, there was nothing there. However, while I was investigating the bathroom, Canon slipped out of the closet and hid again somewhere in the bedroom. In other words, my guarantee that no one was in the bedroom was torn apart during the span of 1 minute. I spotted it. This is a witch's trap, an attempt to lure me into thinking that Canon's in the closet. The place he's really hiding is the bedroom. What if it's a double bluff and he is in the closet?
見つけた。やっと見つけましたよ。あんたのトリック。
That was a close one. If I'd been one step slower, I'd have said there was nowhere to hide except inside the closet. And then she'd just say that the closet was empty. Huh? No, wait. Works the same way in reverse. Yeah. I see, now I get it. It's a logic switching trick. Damn that Bearto. So in resolving the logic error, she discovered this strange trick. This one strange trick will have you beating detectives. If I only notice the closet, she'll have Cannon hide under the bed. And if I only notice the bed, she'll have Cannon hide in the closet. Even though either one would be right, I'd lose no matter which I chose. Unless I expose both at the same time, I can't checkmate her. Incredible. I've never heard of such an unfair trick. This feels awfully similar to the trick you pulled. If it was a sleight of hand, it'd be a cheap one. If it was a mystery, it'd just be cheating. However, in the Switch's game, it's a legitimate logic trick. In chess, it would be called a double check. Just want to see, that's a... Yeah, it had the same quotation marks twice. No, a discovered attack. Oh wait, would it be a discovered double checkmate? I'm pretty sure the only way you can have a double check is through a discovered... One of them is a discovered check, the other's the check that you got through the piece you moved. Or it could be... No. Yeah, that's the only way. Pretty sure. Even though this sort of logic would be a foul trick in the mystery genre, in this world where witches and mystery war, it is such a refined board layout. The beautiful placement of the black pieces that cornered my white king felt almost like an art. So beautiful that, if I were a god in some old legend, I might wish to stick it in the sky as consolation. That beauty even brought tears to my eyes. For the first time, I felt honoured, being allowed to participate in this game of truth and witches as a human. And, ironically, taught me, the one who had always believed in a single truth, that there isn't necessarily just one truth. If I just broaden my perspective, I can see completely different truths. And though each of those truths are truth, they're incomplete if they're all you can see. In my life until now, just how many truths have I missed? Because I was blinded by some trivial truth. This is the true nature of the world.
真実は一つしか存在しないというおごりが、たった一つの真実を見つけただけで、それ以外の真実から私たちを盲目にしてしまう。
Now say that in red and say, okay, your truth is this and my truth is that witches exist.
ありがとう、ベアトリーチェさん。まさか魔女にこの世界の真理を教えられるとは思いませんでした。
One of the neat things with double checks is that the only possibility to get out of a check is to move, because you're being checked in two different ways. And there's no way to either block the two checks or to take both pieces in a single turn. Slowly, with a soft and quiet gesture, like a flower opening with the morning dew dripping down its side, Erica raised her gun.
私の勝ちです。
Repeat that in red, please.
あなたのダブルチェック、見切りました。
ならば来るがよ。
バトラの客室失踪トリックは以下の通りです。バトラは私の室内探索中、クローゼット内に隠れていました。そしてバスルームの騒ぎの間にチェーンを外し、室外へ脱出しました。この時、廊下にはカノンが待機していました。カノンは入れ替わりで客室に入り、チェーンを施錠しました。これがバトラ失踪のトリックです。そしてその後、彼はベッドルーム内に隠れました。私がベッドルームに不審者がいないことを確認した後のことですので、それは有効です。よって救出者カノンはベッドルームに潜伏しています。
And I suppose the closet is in the bedroom. Erica's blue bullet flew in a strange arc, came a wedge of blue truth, and pierced straight down through the bed of the floor beneath. Beato didn't pull her trigger. However, she did quietly argue back with the red truth.
ベッドルームカノンは存在しない
Oh, the gate attendants gasped. Erica had apparently been defeated, denied by the red truth. For the goats, who couldn't see more than a single truth, it probably looks as though I've lost.
This これが並び立つ真実を知り得た人間の答えです。どうやら幻想物語では第二の晩までが終わってるみたいですし、ならば私が残りの晩を遂行して黄金鏡への扉を開いてあげましょう。あなたが負けて消えるならば、それは黄金のバラに包まれてがふさわしい。
The fire's blue truth flashed at Erica's feet, and she loaded a blue truth bullet once more. The overflowing blue power was now making her entire gun burn with a blue flame. She wasn't aiming for Beato. She was aiming behind Beato. At the closet.
ベッドルームを否定したならば、もう逃げ場はここしかない。死ねー、カノン
The 5 wedges of blue truth she released shot right past Beato's cheeks, hair, and shoulders. Then pin-cushioned the door to the closet to gouge whatever human was inside to death. The 5 wedges slammed into the door in a vertical line. In other words, in the 4th twilight, gouge her head and kill. In the 5th twilight, gouge her chest and kill. In the 6th twilight, in the 7th twilight, in the 8th twilight, gouge and kill, and kill and kill. After being gouged by so many thick and sharp wedges, the human inside wouldn't stand a chance.
これが私の暴く真実です。以上。
When she proclaimed that she had finished, the 5 blue wedges piercing the closet disappeared. However, the many large splintered holes left behind showed that it had indeed been pierced. Then, as though this completed the ceremony that led to the Golden Land, the room that had been created around them became countless golden flower petals and drifted away. By now, the duelists and the crowd of attendants were surrounded by the golden rose garden of the Golden Land. However, the closet behind Beato remained. Oh? Oh? It stood there, all by itself, like a coffin. Then, as though teased open by a dreary wind, the hole-covered closet door slowly opened. And revealed, inside, was a human figure. That figure was covered up to the head by what appeared to be a greyish robe. Of course, that also had large holes showing that it had been stabbed into. Eventually, it became clear that this was not a robe, but a raincoat. If he had rushed here from the guest house, then there would be nothing strange about him wearing this into the guest room. Then, with a rustle, the raincoat lost its human shape, crumbled, became a cloud of gold butterflies, and disappeared. Inside the coffin of the closet, nothing remained except an empty darkness.
客室に カノンは存在しないもちろんクローゼット、ベッドルーム、バスルーム、この全てにおいてである。カノンはバトラーを逃がしクローゼットに隠れ
And then left using magic.
そして魔法にて消えた。それが魔女の真実以上だ。
勝負ありです。それ以上は。
勝者ベアトリーゼ
Oh! The attendants let out a cheer. Vigilia's group couldn't help but scream and shout in joy. The seven sisters jumped about in celebration. And then, at the same moment, the two demons proclaimed Beatrice's victory. The head's ring worn by Erica, who was slowly crumpling to the ground, and the curse ring on Battler's finger. Both burst. At the same time, Battler coughed violently. Battler was starting to regain consciousness.
バトラー
The change in voice. Beato latched onto the coughing Battler in joy. Then, Vigilia, Garth and Renove did the same. All of the seven sisters also crowded about him in delight.
ヒベートリックだ。こんなので通ると思ってんのか。こんなトリックじゃまた人間どもがこんなのミステリーじゃねえって騒ぎ出すぜ。
いいえ、立派なトリックです。愛がない人には見えないです。バトラさん、バトラさん。エリカ卿、エリカ卿、誰か手当てを早くです。
The rose of blood in Erica's chest wouldn't stop opening its petals.
第3度概念否定症。存続系中和剤は不可。大至急の最短承認でのみ中和可能。駒の主の最短承認が必要な理由。ベルンカステル卿、最短のご許可を。
No, she failed. No, she needs to be resurrected in order to be sent to the worst fragment, right?
ベルンカステル卿、どちらに？式典警備隊に捜索要請。ベルンカステル卿を探したまえ。了解であります。オールシエスタ、データリンク、捜索体制。卑劣。主が駒の決闘を見届けないなんて卑劣が過ぎると知れ。
Erica, who was being held by Delano, had already realized that her master was nowhere to be seen. But she didn't feel lonely. On the contrary, she was relieved that she wouldn't need to be brutally scolded in the last moments of her life.
神と悪魔たちよ、彼女の高潔なる散り際をどうか語り継ぎたまえ。
高潔。悪役ってのはきっちり無様に散って主品を盛り上げなきゃです。
I'm not anyone's piece anymore. I can finally control my own role.
エリカ卿、動いてはいけません。下がりなさい。下がれ！
When Erica yelled with all her soul, those who surrounded her were forced back and fell on their butts.
私は 真実の魔女フルトエリカ。真実の魔女とは真実に耐える魔女です。私はようやく自分の本当の真実を受け入れられそうなんです。
Toxin of her own concept being denied raced through her. Her vision was already starting to blur. At the other end of her twisted range of vision, a battler and Beato, hugging each other and looking at her. Their expressions are firm. That's okay. Pity and sympathy would only make me look more pathetic. For a loser, that sort of expression is the best.
エリカ卿、もう決闘は終わっています。
終わってないんだ。
Oh?
死が二人を分かつまで。
誰にも彼女の散り際を汚せない。
Two demons grabbed Lana's shoulders and held her back. Dripping blood, breathing heavily, and with an awkward gait, Erika walked towards Beato and Battler despite it all. As the blood dripped from her, it became golden flower petals which drifted away. So, as she walked, she looked both divine and beautiful. The duel wouldn't end until one of them died. So, even though it had been settled, it hadn't ended. Beato and Battler told the people bunched around them to step back, and they both walked forward to face the noble loser.
Erika.
復活おめでとうございます。あんた情難の相を持ってますよ。ろくな女に好かれやしない。
そうだな。俺もろくな女に惚れねえな。
ベアト。いいえ、あんたたちに頼みが。
もう人たちを望むのですか？
No.
エリカ。
受けようぞ。そなたの高潔なる申し出を断る無粋をわらわたちは持たぬ。
ありがとう。
As her consciousness began to waver, Erika raised her gun again. She pointed it at the two of them. Beato also raised her gun to point at Erika. Then, Battler placed his hand on hers.
もう決着してるのに、これ以上何の論点があるというのです。
エリカ様。
私はなぜ何の力にもなれずここに。見届けなさい。それが親友の仕事でしょ。
Both sides silently loaded their bullets of truth without saying a word. The colour packed into each barrel was red. So, though neither side spoke, did they both know what trump card the other would use?
最後に自己紹介しとこうと思いまして。
Huh? What's she saying? This late into the game. No one could imagine the red truth Erika had loaded.
ベアト、いいのか？
はい、構いません。
わかった。
せめて最後の引き金は一緒に。
わかってるぜ。
battler placed his hand on top of a finger that Beato had around the trigger.
バトラさん、会えてよかった。
俺たちは永遠にずっと一緒だ。
イチャイチャと見せつけてくれます。
Of course.
イラついてきてたんです。やっぱお涙で退場は私の好みじゃないです。やっぱ悪役は最後の最後までこういう
いい面構えだぜ。お前との結婚生活もヘドが出るくらい楽しかったかもな。
Right. Fun. Definitely.
当然です。毎日のけぞらせまくってベアトさんなんか忘れさせてあげるくらいの快楽の世界に閉じ込めてあげたのに。
お前ごとき小娘、バトラを虜にするにはまだ1000年早いわ。
ああ、あんたの顔もそれが一番キュートです。お互い最後はこういう顔がいいですよね。
恋。
これが探偵フルドエリカの最後の捨て台詞、そして自己紹介です。
Erica spun in magnificent and graceful rondo, scattering blood and golden flower petals around her as she raised her gun.
はじめましてこんにちは。探偵フルドエリカと申します。招かれざる客人ですがどうか歓迎を。我こそは来訪者ロッケン島の18人目の人間。
申し訳ないが
そなたを迎えても
17人だ。
Huh? Okay. Even if you join us, that's still only 17. Kinzo deceased before the game began. Live when the game was suspended. Died on the first twilight. Live when the game was suspended. Died on the first twilight. Live when the game was suspended. George, alive when the game was suspended. Rudolph, alive when the game was suspended. Kyrie died on the first twilight. Rosa died on the first twilight. Maria died on the first twilight. Alive when the game was suspended. Genji alive when the game was suspended. Shannon alive when the game was suspended. Cannon died on the second twilight. Goda alive when the game was suspended. Kumasara alive when the game was suspended. And Suzusa, Toya, Lamtadota, thank us still. Konove, Garp. That's the one you make 17. So you're saying there's one less person again? All the goats. I guess that's going to be that for today. And yeah, next time will be the bonuses. I'm gonna have to go back through some of that. Not least to dub over the sections that were too fast. Golden Witch has prepared a gift in commemoration. So, that will be next time. I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until then, see ya.